What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of the CM Show. It's your boy, Christopher Markland. I'm here again. Woo, y'all already know. Whenever I come on, y'all, these Mondays, I love it, but damn. Man, sometimes I be having some busy weekends, and you know how that goes, man. Boy, I be tired. But hey, you know what really gives me energy though? Is coming here and joining y'all because some of the stuff that y'all, the energy that y'all give me allows me to keep pushing and doing what I do. I love it. So, first of all, y'all probably wondering who is this dude that's sitting here talking about love and relationships and all that? No, I am Christopher Markland. I'm an author, entrepreneur, YouTube broadcast host, and lover of love, meaning I love love, especially black love, but just love in general. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter, man, woman, woman. It doesn't matter. Love is love. This is a crazy ass place, a crazy ass world that we live in. And if you can find that one person, two people, if you're in a poly situation, it doesn't matter. If you're able to find that special person, or people that allow you to be the best you possible, man, I'm here for it. So y'all, welcome to this tonight's episode of the CM Show. Tonight we are going to be talking about communication. Now, communication for me has always been part of the big three: sex, communication, finances. Now, we've been ongoing. Well, before we get into it, let me get a couple things out of the way. First things first, one of my biggest sponsors is the Black Candle Box. All right. The Black Candle Box, www.theblackcandlebox.com. Now, tonight's scent is coconut mango. Now, y'all probably might know, some of y'all may or may not know, who knows? But I'm from Jamaica. Y'all, I might have mentioned it once or twice. That's right, your boy. I'm from Jamaica. And as such, coconut and mango, those two scents, not necessarily the flavors, because I ain't about to eat no candles. That's not necessarily my cup of tea. But, this particular scent is my favorite because it just takes me back home. And the Black Candle Box, never, let me talk before I get into it. One thing I like about these particular candles is it's just how strong the scents are. There have been some candles that I've dealt with in the past that it's like, yo, can I, smell something? Got plenty of flame, but not enough scent. I like the fact that not only do these look good, but they smell great. Y'all can probably smell it through the screen. Like I said, the Black Candle Box. And also make sure that go visit www.theblackcandlebox.com and you'll get a 15% discount with orders over 25% by using the promo code the CM Show. I wanted to she has a scent called Say More. I think that's what it's called. But my order didn't come in time for tonight's show because Lord knows we're talking about communication. So hey, say more. All right. So like I said, y'all, theblackcandlebox.com, go check them out. Good stuff. Black owned business. Gotta support them. Gotta love it. So tonight we are live on both Facebook and Instagram. So drop your comments in the box either way and join the conversation. Later on, after I get finished running my yap, communicating with y'all, you see that keyword there? You see what we're talking about? Anyway, just, join the conversation. It's going to be via YouTube. I'll drop the link in a few minutes. That way, y'all can join the conversation. Let me know what y'all are talking about. Let me shout out to the chat room. Let's see who all we got here tonight. Oh, don't do that. Wrong button. Let's see who we got tonight. Okay. That's weird. Let me see what's going on here. What the hell? Oh, probably help if I show it. What up, G-Dubs? Thanks for joining the conversation. Joining the chat tonight. How are you, ma'am? And, of course, what up to my boy Lorenzo? What's going on, brother? What's going on? Shout out to everybody in the chat room. I always monitor the chats both in Instagram and Facebook. So if you got something to say, holla at me. Not to mention, y'all be having some side conversations too. I love it. So let's get into it. Let's get into it, shall we? For the last couple of that's right, my notes are all jacked up tonight. How am I sounding tonight? Drop a 1 in the chat room if you can hear me loud and clear. Cause y'all know every week I'll be having some kind of some kind of audio issue. So if you can hear me, drop a 1 in the chat. And y'all, please make sure you hit the like button, please and thank you. I need that. Like I said, we got to tickle the algorithm. We got to tickle the damn algorithm. Let them know that we're here. For the last couple of weeks, the conversation, especially this month, let me be clear. For this month, what we've been talking about is kinks, right? And a lot of people have been like, oh, my God, how are you talking about kinks? Why? And as I've been saying, in previous shows, is everybody has a kink. In other words, everybody has that one thing that they like. Okay? I don't care who you are. I don't care what your background is. I don't care where you're from. It doesn't matter. There is something that you like sexually, right? Now, as I said at the very beginning, I am a man that loves love. I love relationships, more especially black love, right? And the 3 things that I've always said that are important to any relationship is trust. Okay? Now, trust. For those of y'all that follow me on Ready to Love, we talked about this last season when I did my review of that season, and we're going to talk about Ready to Love in a minute too. But how I analogize relationships, and in the context of a partnership, meaning 2 people together. All right, is you have a stool. It's a 3-legged stool, and each one of those legs is comprised of 3 different things. Right? You have communication, sex, and finances, right? Sex, communication, finances. Those are the 3 key ingredients of a relationship. And once those 3 things are in alignment, meaning they're balanced, then you have the foundation on which trust can stand. Now, if any one of those 3 things are out of whack, meaning you're not communicating properly with your spouse, the sex ain't good, or the money is tight, then things are going to be out of balance. Then, of course, the trust is going to go. And then with that means the relationship itself is going to struggle. All right. So what I'm saying is sex, communication, finances. What we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, especially for the month of October, which is National Kink Month, is if you have a kink, which is something usually sexual in nature, right? If you have a personal kink, a personal fetish, something that you like, either you like to do, you like having done to you, you like watching, participating, whatever the case may be, if you don't communicate that to your partner, then there's going to be disharmony because, one, you have a desire, right? And if that desire isn't being fed, then if you're starving, you're going to get out there and get you something to eat. If you're dying of thirst, you're going to find some damn water. If not, what's going to happen is you're going to wither away and perish. So if you have something that you desire and you don't know how to communicate that to your partner, then there are going to be some problems, right? One of the big things that happens is, hold on, before I move further, hold on. What up? Snap. Let me do this real quick. Exit out of there. And what up, Laquan? Thanks for joining the conversation, brother. Thanks for coming to the chat room. Appreciate you being here. And who else is in there before? I don't want to dig in too deep. On my level 6, what up, lady? Thanks for joining the conversation as well. That's so weird. Technology, you gotta love it. So one of the things that that happens so many times in relationships, right, is that each party doesn't know how to communicate with each other. Think about it. You have two people. Traditionally speaking, you have man, woman, but it doesn't matter the dynamics of the relationship. At the end of the day, you have two people, two individuals that are coming together as one in a union, right? Hold on 1 second for me, please. Not quite sure what's going on. What up, Larry? Thanks for joining the show, my friend. Bow, bow, bow. So, as I was saying, you have two individuals that are coming together, and y'all, everyone comes from their own set frame of reference. All right, doesn't matter your age, where you're from. Like I said, I probably didn't tell you, but I'm from Jamaica. But it doesn't. We all come from where we were, from our background, and we come together in a relationship, and then we try to make it work. So what happens a lot of times is, when it comes to communication, is one party communicates differently than the other. Okay, now. The reason, I know it sounds silly and all, right? But one of the reasons why I keep bringing up, I'm from Jamaica, is this. Here in America, what y'all would call a biscuit, especially down south. Y'all know I'm in the great state of Atlanta. Lord knows this particular city is going through some nonsense, right? But like I said, I'm from Atlanta. But not even from Atlanta, just in the South, period. When I came here from Jamaica, people were just always talking about biscuits. And I'm like, damn. Y'all sure love some biscuits around here, right? Now, when I came over here, I was a little kid. So for me, a biscuit is a cookie. Oh, down here in the South, a biscuit is just that, a damn biscuit. You put gravy on it, or you sop it up, or whatever the case may be, right? So if I'm thinking that a biscuit is one thing, my partner is thinking that a biscuit is another, there's a disconnect. And that's where the communication aspect of the relationship has to come in. The same thing goes like what we've been talking about with kinks. If you like a certain thing and your partner's like, doesn't know you like it, how the hell can y'all get on the same page? And like my man Lorenzo, who's been with us for the last couple of weeks, he's been talking about, not only once you communicate what it is you like, but then you communicate the levels of what you like. You communicate safe words. You communicate all aspects of whatever it is that you may like. But even before you go as deep into certain kinks and fetishes or whatever, you still have got to learn how to communicate with your partner. All right. You have to learn what it is your partner likes. You have to learn what it is you like, and then to be able to honestly communicate that. All right. Now, let me say this. Let's put that disclaimer out there. This is an adult show. When everybody, chimes in, or, when we open up the call line and people call in on Zoom and whatnot, y'all, we're going to be talking about some stuff. So if you are easily flustered, if you're like, oh, my stars, and you start, clutching your pearls, this ain't the show for you. There's a little button that says, hey, leave. By all means, exit, Well, no love lost. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that this is an adult conversation and we're going to be talking about adult things. So, but let's keep pushing. If you know what you like, if you know what you're interested in, if you know the things that you want to have done to you, if you know the things that you want to do to your partner, you have to be able to communicate them. And that's on a sexual level. Like I said, the three things: sex, communication, and finances. If you're not able to communicate to your partner what you like sexually, there's going to be a problem. If you're not able to communicate to your partner how you want the finances of the house to be run, or of the relationship to be run, then that's also going to be a problem. If you're good with money, but your partner kind of lacks, then y'all have got to be able to communicate, hey, let's get a budget together. All right, let's not spend money on this. Let's not spend money on that. I've got a friend, real close friend of mine. And as she and I were talking, she opened up to me with how she feels about money, and why money is what people on the outside looking in may think that, she values money or so forth. But once she opened up, she was saying, it's not necessarily the money that motivates me. It's the lack of money that scares the hell out of me. And that fear, because of something traumatic that happened in her past, is what drives her to make sure that she's never in that situation ever again. Think about it. If you have a woman who has children and she's put into a situation to where now not only is her life or her livelihood or her, well, let's just say her life, because once she told me what happened, her life is in jeopardy. Now her children's lives are in jeopardy as well because of the lack of money. So therefore, now that, the years have passed and now she's able to basically move forward and now she's in a position to provide for her children, that her going back, that fear drives her. If she didn't communicate that to her now husband, that, hey, this is a reason why I feel the way that I feel. You are not necessarily the best steward of money for this house. And I am. And not only that, the motivation that I have for the making sure that we're in the best financial situation possible, all of those things are present. So therefore, I have got to take the reins when it comes to the money management and so forth and so on in order to make sure that we don't get to a certain point. She was able to communicate that with her husband. He understood where she was coming from, and she was able to articulate that to him to make him understand it. Y'all, I'm a huge proponent of therapy. And the reason for that is just based, like the story that I just told you guys, if you're not able to move forward past the roadblocks and past the hurdles, past the hurt that have been in your life, past the emotional trauma that you've been through, you won't be able to move forward because you're not able to talk about the things that have happened in your past. And being that you're not able to talk about it, being that you're not able to communicate those things, that is where the issues come into play. Because a lot of times you can't necessarily even talk about something that you really don't even know is an issue. By that, I mean this. If you have something that has happened to you before, okay? If you've had something that has happened to you before where you are now stuck in the past because you're at the place where the pain or the trauma took place and you're not able to move forward, yeah, you may be older chronologically, but emotionally you're stunted. And because of that stunted growth, you're not able to articulate the problems or your position. So therefore, your mate doesn't know what's going on. That's why for you to move forward and to be able to talk about your problems, you got to be able to get the therapy so that way you can communicate the issues and then communicate your desires or communicate the things that you don't like. And speaking of the things that you don't like I said, the first part of communication is you being able to properly articulate to your partner the things that bother you. Or not necessarily the things that bother you, but the things that you want in a way that your partner understands. Once again, the 6 versus 9 analogy. You see things a certain way. Your partner sees things a certain way. And for both of you guys to be on the same page, you have to speak in a way that your partner understands that, hey, I want 6. I know to you it may look like a 9, but this is to me a 6. And then you're able to talk about what your partner, about what it is that you may desire. Your partner then says, oh, okay, what I thought was a 9, I see it now. I see it from your perspective. I see that what I thought was a 9 is actually a 6 because you spoke to me and you talked to me about it. Then now you guys are on the same page. However, you being able to talk about what it is that you want, if your partner is also able to communicate what they don't want, you have to be able to accept their no. We're adults. Just because you want something doesn't mean you get it. All right. We learned that as kids. That's, we don't always get the things that we desire. We don't always get ice cream for dinner. You know what I'm saying? There are things that as you get older, you understand that, hey, I don't really get what I want. Cool. It happens. You have to be able to accept that. You've got to be able to accept that, hey, you know what? I wanted something and I went to my partner with it and I wasn't able to get it. And you're okay with that. What happens so many times, and this is where cheating comes in. We're going to do a show on cheating one of these days. I'm not sure when. That's where I think cheating comes into play because there are a lot of people that aren't necessarily emotionally able to handle a no. And part of being a mature adult is being able, and especially one in a relationship, is one saying, being able to accept what your partner wants, accepting the boundaries that your partner has set, and then working within those boundaries. Like I said, the main thing when it comes to the three-legged stool that, and I need to copyright that thing. Anybody in copyright, let me know what's up. If you break any one of those three things, right? If you cut off one of those legs of that stool, you think that stool is going to be properly balanced? Hell no. So if you aren't properly communicating with your partner, the stool is going to lean, in this case, to the left, right? Is trust going to be able to stay on that stool if the stool isn't balanced? Hell no. The same thing happens when it comes to sex, and the same thing happens when it comes to money. If the stool is not in alignment, your partner can't trust you. If your partner, for instance, can't trust that, you're going to take care of the money, guess what? They're going to start either putting money aside and shit's going to happen, right? If your partner doesn't trust that you're able to sexually fulfill them, then what's going to happen? If you're hungry, you're going to go out there and eat, right? And the same thing happens if you're not honestly communicating with your partner. Then that's where work husbands and work wives come into play, right? Because it's like you're going to want to have someone that you can honestly confide in. And if your partner's not providing that, well, damn it, you're going to go somewhere. Communication, y'all, is the key. We've heard it before so many times. Communication is the key. And if you're not able to honestly communicate with your damn partner, then you're going to have problems, especially keeping in, like we said, this is National Kink Month. If you're not able to communicate with your partner. In fact, let's talk about kinks for a minute anyway. Let's just recap exactly what kinks are. Let's go back to the definition. So kinks are sexual taste for a person. Usually a kink is an unusual taste in sexual behavior. I don't know about that unusual shit. I think that what happens in our society, especially in American society, when you do anything outside of the norm, it's like, oh my God, you like that? Man, fuck out of here with that. I'm a firm believer in you like what you like. Damn it, if you like it, fine. If you like being tickled, all right, fine. Get a damn feather and tickle away to your heart's desire. Do what you do. However, if you like to be tickled, tell your damn partner and y'all have that conversation. Because you never know. Your partner may be into like, oh shit, you like to be tickled. Well, damn it, I love tickling. Holy shit, would you look at that? A match made in heaven. But you won't know if you don't talk about it. If you don't communicate. And then on top of that, I like to be tickled, but I only like to be tickled with a feather up to this point, because once I start laughing too much, then it hurts. If your partner doesn't know that, they just tickling, and now you about to pass the hell out from laughing because y'all haven't communicated. There's so many levels when it comes to communication, not only, especially in, when we're talking about kinks or sex or money, but in this particular case, we're going to stick to the communicating about sex, right? Communicating about kinks, National Kink Month, right? If you don't communicate with your partner the things that you enjoy, the things that you want, and then how you like them done. If it's oral sex and you like it done a certain way, I like when all right, yeah, just no, not both of them at the same time, just one. Or if you like the left nipple first and then whatever the case may be, men or women, whatever your turns you on, if you don't communicate that with your partner, you're going to have problems, right? So as we get into it tonight, we're going to be talking about a few things, right? It's not showing up. We're going to be talking about a few things tonight. One of the things that we're going to be talking about is how do you communicate with your partner? What works best for you? Some people honestly like just an open, straightforward, hey, this is what I like. Other people like it a certain way. We're also let's talk a little bit about how you the method of which it's done. I, especially, in the early stages of relationships, do not believe that when you're starting out talking to somebody, quote unquote, in the talking stage, right? The primary mode of talking to that person should not be text messages. That should not be the primary mode. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but that shouldn't be the main way that you communicate with the person that you're interested in. pick up the damn phone, pick up this device right here, and be like, yo, and you talk to them as you get to know them. The reason being is, all right, you just met that person. Y'all are just in the beginning stages of knowing each other. So what you need to do, that person doesn't know you. They don't really know your sense of humor. They don't know your sarcasm level. They don't know, all of those things. So if you are the kind of person where your sense of humor is sarcastic in nature, or you may have a dark sense of humor, whatever the case may be, if that person doesn't know you, the only way they can get to know you is picking up the phone and y'all having that conversation. Okay? Hold on. So I am a huge proponent of picking up the phone and calling them. Now, I'm not saying that you pick up the phone and FaceTime them. No, that's too. I've never really been a fan of FaceTime because it's like you sitting there holding the damn phone. It's like, man, that's just annoying. But I would much rather you FaceTime somebody than text them. But I'd much rather you call them and have a conversation as opposed to doing FaceTime as well. Because, early on, just not a big proponent of that. If y'all agree with me, let me know. We'll talk about it as well, right? I'm just not a big fan of it. Pick up the phone and talk to them. Pick up the phone, communicate with them, and then y'all get to know each other. Y'all get to, know the voice inflections. Because remember, you can't put all that in a text. Because something can, once again, the 6 versus 9, you mean something a certain way. You text it to them, they really like, what the hell? Wait a minute, who the hell are you talking to? And to you, it's a simple joke. To them, it's an insult. Pick up the phone, talk to them. Now, speaking of picking up the phone, I want y'all to talk to me. Let me drop the link down here. I want y'all to hit me up. Reach out to me on Zoom. Let me know what you think. Am I full of shit? Let me know. I want to hear this. I just dropped the link in there. Hit the Zoom link. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. I would love to get your feedback. Love to get your opinion. Love to hear your point of view. Let me set this up real quick, and then y'all can join the chat. Hold on, please. All right. So we are back. I'm not even sure why this thing's not working. What the hell's going on with you there, show? All right, so let's see what we got in the chat. Let's see. DJ, you love the hat. Thank you. Appreciate that. The wife just, what I'm saying? The wife was like, yo, man, you looking real scrubby lately. I need for you to change up your look a little bit. Work on that wardrobe of yours. You know what I said? Yes, ma'am. Because I ain't stupid. Not stupid at all. So she's like, yo, we need to do a little something for you. Oh, you know what? I'm a smart man. I was like, yeah, yes, ma'am. Larry, what up, man? Thank you for joining the show tonight. Tonight's show, as we just said, is about communication. I want to hear from y'all. I just dropped the link in there. Y'all let me know what you think when it comes to this, how you communicate with your spouse. I need to know. Carrie, what's happening? Thanks for joining the conversation, ma'am. G-Dubs. Man, that's a nice picture. I always like that picture. What's up? Laquan, what's going on, dude? Thanks for joining the conversation tonight. All right, so let's see where we got. Man, it is, you know what? There's something about Mondays. There's just something about Mondays, y'all. It's either you hate them or you don't, but man, regardless, you gotta start the week off high energy. No doubt. So, let me ask a couple questions in while we see a couple people. Ooh. Someone just said the link doesn't work. What? What you mean the link doesn't work? That link should work. Let me see. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on with that. So let's talk about a couple things, right? What's crazy is I've got people that instead of joining the show, they want to text me, which is so crazy. Like, hey, I don't want you to text me. I want you to talk to me. Also, hey, if you do want to join the conversation, let me say this, but you don't want your face to be shown, that's fine. Just let me know. Be like, hey, Chris, I got my bonnet on. I don't feel like showing the world my bonnet. I want to talk to you, but the way my hair's set up, I don't want to be on camera. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Just let me know. But let's talk about a couple of things. And y'all, please, make sure you hit that like button. Or if you don't like what the hell I'm talking about, hit the dislike button. Just hit a button, please. What was it? Where's that text? What did they say? Oh, here it is. In the text that I just got, the person that they said is that their partner, they don't feel listened to by their partner, right? And they don't know how to talk to their partner. They don't know how to properly communicate to them. They don't know how to reach out to them. That's interesting right there. One is the communication is kind of like driving trucks or any other job where the more you do it, the more experience you have. But at the same time, you also have to listen more than you talk. And I think that a lot of times when it comes to communicating with your partner, before you go in, especially if you are the one that's initiating the conversation, you've had a chance to get your words right because you know ultimately where you want to go. You know the reason why you're initiating the conversation in the first place is because you are desiring a certain outcome. So if you want that outcome to be what it is, you know, okay, let me not say this because then they'll get mad, or let me say this so that, you're able to formulate the best course of action to arrive at your outcome. Your partner doesn't have that same opportunity. What your partner's doing is like trying to figure out, okay, what the hell are you talking about? I feel a certain way. How can I make you understand what it is that I'm trying to do? So you have got to give grace. You've got to say, you know what? Let me not listen just to speak. Y'all know I love being honest with y'all when it comes to this to this CM show and just in general, right? Just talking about relationships. I have been so guilty of that in the past. Drop a 1 in the chat room. Let me know if you've had that happen to you. You're trying to share something with your partner. You're trying to, let them know how you feel about something, and you don't feel listened to because what they do is instead of giving you honest, open feedback, you know that they are just listening and waiting on an opportunity to just speak or to respond to something that you say instead of processing what you're trying to explain to them, share with them, or, tell them, and giving you good, honest response or feedback. Y'all, I have been so guilty of that. Where instead of me listening to what she's trying to tell me, instead I'm so amped up, so fired up that I'm just, and I'm responding instead of listening. Oh, wow. Okay. So that, I'll be honest with y'all, that is something Carrie says once she's had that problem. That is something I've been guilty of. Who else has had that problem where, wait a minute, let me ask it this way. Are you the one that just, listening and just waiting for an opportunity to talk? Or is that what your partner's done to you? I have been the one that's done it. Not necessarily. Well, yeah. I've been the one that's done that. So it's part of, like I said, part of communicating, part of being a good communicator is that you are not just listening and waiting for an opportunity to speak, but you're listening with the opportunity to learn. Because your partner, they're telling you something that is important to them, whether it's like, a kink that or a fetish that they like, something that they like done sexually, or they're saying, hey, this is how I feel about money, the finances. This is how I feel about how you're handling the money. If you're not listening to those three things, like I said, sex, communication, finances. So if you're not listening, meaning you're communicating well with them as far as what it is you like, then yeah, you're going to have some problems. Oh my God, somebody else is saying that the link doesn't work. What in the hell is going on? That's some bullshit. Michelle says 1 as well. Okay. It's one of those things, y'all, where communication is not just, communication is a two-way street. And the sooner that we understand that, the sooner that we realize that communication is a two-way street, that not only is it just about you running your mouth and getting your point across, but it's also about you shutting your damn mouth and opening both your ears and your mind, your heart, and being open to what your partner or partners are telling you. Something else too, as I keep talking about partners, we're going to talk about poly relationships as well. What I'm trying to do is, what I've been doing, I should say, is I've been reaching out to a couple people who have either been in poly relationships, married couples, and, or just I don't want to call them singles, but they're not, none of the parties are in actual married relationships, but they are dating multiple people. So I'm trying to get that together. It's just not everybody wants to talk about that. And like I said, speaking of not want to talk about it, if you want to join the chat and like I said, you don't want to be shown, please make sure you let me know. But what I was saying was, if you are not able to listen to what the hell it is your partner is trying to communicate to you, it's pointless. And what's going to happen is they are going to resent coming to you in the first place, and they're not going to trust that you're going to be open to what they are trying to, share with you. It takes a lot of courage, y'all, for you to go to your partner and be like, hey, this is what I like. This is what I desire. This is what I don't like. And for you to go to your partner and say those things and it not be received, how often are you going to keep trying to, climb up that mountain? After a while, you're going to be like, fuck it. What's the point? And then you're going to be like, oh, hey, person on the side, you like listening to me? Oh, you're going to be honest with me? Oh, okay. And sooner or later, your attention is going to be diverted. And then the trust that we talked about is also going to be disrupted as well. One, you're not going to trust your partner anymore. And two, if and when your partner finds out what you're doing, they're not going to be able to trust you. And what kind of relationship are you going to have when you don't trust your partner and they don't trust you? How long the hell do you think y'all are going to stay together? How much resentment do you think is going to be in that relationship if you do stay together? That's some messy shit. And it all starts with something as simple as communication, even though we all know that communication is difficult as hell once you get into it, right? So it's one of those things where if you do not know, if you're not listening to what your partner is telling you, if you're not open and honest with what your partner is trying to share with you, you're going to have some serious ass problems in your relationship. Y'all are silly, man. So, couple things. I had mentioned Ready to Love as well. Ready to Love is going to be coming back. Ready to Love is going to be coming back soon, by the way. Actually, and by soon, I mean this damn Friday. Is it? I mean, that is just amazing to me. This Friday, Ready to Love is going to be coming back on. I want to mention that. And I, for one, am looking forward to it, but not. Really am not. And the reason why, y'all, the set of people that they have on the show this season, from all the previews and stuff that I've seen, ooh, Jesus. Ooh. I don't want to prejudge. I don't want to, jump the gun. I don't want to be like, oh, okay. Yeah. However, from what I have seen, it's going to be an interesting season. And it's set in DC, so it's going to be interesting. I want to see I want to see how this one plays out, but I'll be honest with you, it ain't looking too good. But we're going to see. Like I said, starting on Friday, we're definitely, that's when the season starts, a 2-hour premiere. I want to talk about what I'm going to be doing moving forward once Ready to Love does come on. The CM show we're going to be doing probably. I'm looking more towards doing those on Wednesdays, hump days, and we're going to be doing my recap shows on Monday. So instead of having both shows on at the same day, Markland, the CM show, I keep on Markland Mondays. The CM show is going to be moved to Wednesday, and the Ready to Love recap shows are going to be premiering on Mondays. May do a Friday broadcast, not quite sure yet, but that's what I am looking at doing. Not quite sure. Y'all let me know what y'all want to do. Anyway, y'all, time to wrap this thing up. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Go through these notes. Yeah, that's not true. Man, I keep getting the stupidest text. Talking about you need to communicate better. Man, whatever. Screw you. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for joining me tonight. Tonight's episode of the CM Show where we talked about communication. This month, is National Kink Month, the month of October. And even though I've been getting offline, so many saying, hey, why are you talking about kinks? Why? That's nasty. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell are you talking about? Because in certain communities and certain religions, you doing what you may think is just normal, to them is just, oh my God, so out of bounds, so out of pocket. That's how it is when in relationships. And, there are things that you like. So that's why I've been making this, I've been doing these shows in order to say, hey, if you like certain things, one, we got to be able to talk about it. We have to be able to normalize certain things, because what's happened is a lot of people go underground, right? And, like we talked about in previous shows, I'm here in Atlanta, and there are 2 sex clubs that I know about, or I'm aware of, I should say. One is Trapeze, and the other is, what the hell is the name of that damn club? I can never remember it. The Loft, right? So those 2 locations cater to a certain crowd. But the issue is the crowd that they cater to already know about those locations. Meaning, if you're into certain things, but you do not know where to go, how can you then enjoy that particular thing? On a previous show, we talked about dungeons. Like there's a dungeon here in Atlanta. My man Lorenzo, he educated all of us, me especially, that the people that are in that space, they're dungeons that are all around, but don't advertise. So how can you know what it is how can you explore something that you don't even know how to go about doing it? The first start is you communicating with your partner what it is you want, and then y'all can, go on that journey of exploration together. But you can't start the journey by, taking that first step if you don't take the first step of communicating to your partner the journey that you want to go on. The same thing goes for, there's so many sex parties and stuff like that here in Atlanta, I see the ads and all this all the damn time. However, if you don't talk to your partner about those things and you want to try and go by yourself, hell no. That ain't gonna happen, because once again, as we talked about, the stool analogy, sex, communication, and finances, if you are not talking to your partner, you're gonna ruin the trust in your relationship. If you're not communicating with your partner about your sexual desires and the things that you like, you're going to ruin your relationship. That's what this thing is all about. And that's why I've been pushing so hard and talking so much about kinks, desires, all of those things. Not because I necessarily am into those things. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I got my own little things that I like. Hey, I'm human. We all do. Kinks are like opinions and assholes. Everybody's got one. The difference is most people are all quick to voice their opinion, but they damn sure going to keep certain things to themselves within the context of their relationships. You've got to be able to communicate to your partner about what it is you like. So the question is, how do you communicate to your partner? Like anything else, it takes practice. but it also takes knowing your partner. It also takes you giving your partner a safe space to be able to respond to what it is that you're telling them, that you're sharing with them. Because at the end of the day, your partner has all the rights in the world to say no. But if you're afraid of no, then you got some bigger problems on your hands. I'm a real estate agent, and one of the main things that has allowed me to be as successful as I have been in my career as an agent is the power of no. Being able to tell a client no and standing firmly on that no. Because if you let them, somebody would be like, yeah, I want a 10 bedroom, 10 bedroom, 7 bath mansion on a lake sitting on 20 acres and I want to spend $100,000 on it. Hell no. You tell them no. Those expectations are not going to are unrealistic. And then what you do is you set more realistic expectations. Be like, yeah, for what you're trying to spend, this is what you're going to be able to get in this particular part of town. They may not like it. However, at least they know honestly what is to be expected. The same thing goes for you in your relationships. Being able to say no, like, nah, I'm good on that. And now you and your partner can come together and be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, okay, let's do this instead. Or they may be like, yo, I do like that. All right, well, how can we go about doing it so that way, there's safe words involved or whatever the case may be, having those open and honest communications. And that's the purpose of the CM show. That's the purpose of what I'm doing. That's the purpose of my platform, is being able to talk about love, relationships openly and honestly, and having the forum for us to talk about those things. You know what I'm saying? That's why I do what I do, because I want people to be able to say, hey, you know what? I've liked this. How can I talk to my partner about this? How can I, reach out to them and say, hey, this is what I like. This is what I want to do. How can I do that? Or, you may not like you may like a certain thing. You may have a certain way, and you post it in the chat room, or we had the join me on Zoom. And as we're having that conversation, as we're conversing about, whatever the topic is, someone else will be like, oh, snap, you know what? That may work for me. Let me try that. Early this evening, I was talking to a friend of mine, a fellow agent, and she was telling me about something that, an idea that she had about making it easy for couples to be able to do more together. And as we were talking, she was saying that, a lot of people don't even know how to date anymore. And, she was like, man, with her and her husband, there's certain things that, places she may want to go, certain things that she's interested in. And he, like most dudes, just may be completely oblivious. It's not malicious in him not necessarily knowing, but just more like, oh, okay, I didn't know you like that. And they've been married for I don't know how damn long. So it's one of those things where if you're not able to communicate what it is you want, you're going to have a problem on your hands. And that right there is why I do what I do. That's why we have this show. It's not necessarily just to talk about all the nasty shit we talk about, because Lord knows, cannot wait for Casey Carter to come on again, right? There's certain things that, we may discuss that may seem over the top, but the reason why I'm doing it, y'all, is because honestly, within the bounds of a relationship, within those confines, there's nothing over the top. Because it's you, your partner, and y'all taking on the world together. But you cannot be together unless y'all are communicating together. I learned that shit in the Army. You can have a squad of 10 people, and if nobody knows what's going on, what the other person's doing, you're going to have chaos. The same thing goes here in a relationship. You and your partner / partners, if y'all ain't on the same page, you're going to have chaos. And that's why we have these conversations, y'all. So we're going to wrap it up tonight. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining me on tonight's CM show. I swear, I love it. I love it. I love it. Not sure what next week's conversation is going to be. I'm waiting on a confirmation for the guest for next week, but look forward to hearing from each and every one of y'all. I keep getting these silly ass texts. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining the conversation. As I was saying earlier, Ready to Love is going to be coming on this Friday. This Friday, the season 4 returns. And as always, I am going to be doing my reviews. So if you haven't already done so, please make sure you share, subscribe to this channel. And if you haven't done so, hit the like button. Come on. Tickle the algorithm. Tickle the algorithm. But like I said, this week, Friday, October the 15th, Regular Love comes back on, and I will be doing the review. So just want to say thank y'all to everyone that joined tonight's conversation. And as always, y'all have a great week. See y'all next week. Y'all have a good one. Stay determined.